Hey YouTube, it's Friday, first Friday in May. I think it's the 4th, and doing some planing again. I want to try and get I need to get all this red oak in here planed, that's for sure. What I wanted to share with you guys is, now that I had a chance to look at some of this wood now that it's dry and different things like that, I want to tell you, I think that the planer I have, there's capable of taking a full 1/16 of an inch off the wood. Now that's not big for a planer, but you know, it's a cheap planer, so what can you expect? The thing is though, is the Woodmizer definitely can cut boards nice and straight so that you don't have to struggle more than one pass through the planer to get your plain board. The problem comes up, and I noticed, and because I stack everything sort of methodically, when I went bad cutting oak and I had all them wavy cuts back a couple months ago, I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, and now I know that it was because a couple of boards in a row I had hit nails, and I didn't see the nails, I didn't hear the nails, nothing. But now that I started planing them, I realized that all of the boards that came after the nails that I tried to cut with that one saw blade, which was probably a log's worth, had some problems with it. So you're probably looking at maybe, I don't know, I want to say maybe 15 boards that I tried cutting, and some of them are this top, and some are the 1x9s there, and the other ones are the 1x8s. That's what this is over here, 8-footers. And what happened is, when you hit a nail and you continue to try to cut, the Woodmizer gives you some waviness in your cutting. And once that starts to get wavy, you're not going to be able to send those boards through the planer very well. And I'll give you a good example of this. This board right here, if you look at this top board here, you can see that that thing's got one heck of a, wave to it. Now from there down, it's not bad. There's another spot right about here where there's another bump in it. But that was from when I had a dull blade. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't cutting. The blade didn't seem dull to me, but it was either dull or kinked or something, and it wasn't cutting right. The boards after this one, and the way this went was, after I hit the nails, there were some 1x6, some 1x8, and some 1x12 in that cut. And those top pieces that were on here, that were separating the cut of the oak, is what gave me grief after I hit the nails and when I tried to plane it. Because the planer isn't going to plane something like this really easy. The planer is, if you had an industrial planer that could cut off 1/4 of an inch at a clip, maybe you could, but this small planer is going to have a hard time with this. And what I've been finding out here is, as I went down the pile then and I got rid of that log that gave me this, set of 1x, I'm down here with this 1x8 and I'm planing this last row, and I got to tell you, two passes, like one on the top, one on the bottom, the board's completely planed. And that is how good the Woodmizer can cut when it's cutting, okay? But you have to make sure you're using sharp blades. Now if you look at this, if you look at this board up here, this is pretty flat here. You look at this one and there's some ripples in here. Now these ripples are not bad, they're maybe a 1/16, and I can get that out of there with one planing. But all I'm trying to say here with this video today is that, after the fact, after I cut the lumber, after I've dried the lumber, and after I'm going to plane it, the planer that can take off a 1/16 of an inch will take these boards and just make them beautiful. And you can see how they're coming out there. I don't know if you can see how smooth that is, but it's really nice. And what it is that the Woodmizer has the ability to cut boards straight enough to put through a planer twice and have a nice board. The problem is when the sawyer, like myself, tries to cut with a dull blade. then you end up with something like that top board over there. And that top one is the only one that did that, because up until that time I hadn't hit any nails. But I didn't realize I hit the nails. That's the biggest thing. Alright guys, so you know, we're going to town here with this. I've got a lot of wood cut on that side, this side. I'm trying to stack this so that I can go from here 8 foot to the garage door. This area in here, from that side all the way to here, I don't care if it's 8 feet high or 7 feet high, I guess. That's where I'm going to be putting all my finished lumber that I'm going to use for trim and also to build furniture. So for now, being that this is already planed, I'm keeping it indoors. This can stay in here. Doesn't matter how many years it stays in here. It'll always be nice. Okay guys, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. But that's what I found out with this thing. Have a good one. YouTube, I want you to take a look at this. This is a nail and the black stain you get from metal and oak. This is a black stain here. It's from metal. But here's what you need to look at. The grain on this board runs this way. This board runs this way. When the stain runs across the grain, you got to look a little closer at it, because it's not from a nail. This is from sitting on the forks overnight. Okay? So with the grain, something's in the wood. Across the grain, chances are it was laying on something. Well, I think that you can consider that being buried in sawdust. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 of the 1x8s over there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of the 1x9. Not bad. And it's all nice looking stuff. That 1x8 came out pretty decent. There's probably 2 pieces in there that are a little thinner than 3/4, because I wasn't getting the marks out of it. But the rest of it is nice. That whole pile there, from once I got below where the nail problem was, from there down was all nice straight boards. This is a piece of white pine I threw there, through the planer, just to see what it would look like. Came out pretty nice. Big knot in that one. Then this is a piece of maple that I didn't start to cut. I cut a lot of maple, but I didn't plane any before. This is the first maple board I've actually planed in this planer. There's a nice looking piece of maple. It's an interesting grain on it.